Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to put up my July TBR. So the last few months have been kind of a fail on my TBRs. Well, not really. June, technically, I made my TBR. I only put 2 books on it, and I read them because they were favorite authors. So it was pretty easy. So I pretty much gave myself a free pass on June. And May, I didn't complete any of the books, I think, on that TBR. Or 1, something like that. It was not enough. So anyway, but I cannot help myself from trying to schedule, even though that doesn't always work. But I've been looking forward to July for a while because of Jane Austen July is taking place this month, and then also another read-along that I'm going to join. So first let's talk about the read-along that I'm going to join, and that is Mara at Books Like Whoa is doing The Hunchback of Notre-Dame by Victor Hugo, a read-along on that from July 3rd to the 14th. So I've already tabbed up this book, and it's a preview of my book haul. Anyway, so I've always wanted to read this as well as Les Mis, but I just have never gotten around to it. Les Mis is one of my oldest books on my shelf, so technically I'll get to that at some point. But she's doing a read-along for this one. So I thought I'd join along and see if I could do it. I don't know, you know, me and we'll see how some read-alongs I get along really well with, and some I don't. But it is a book I really want to read. I have the Penguin edition that is translated by John Storrock, something like that. Anyway, so I am looking forward to reading that. So I'll do that in the first part of the month. We'll see if I follow the schedule. I might just, you know, it matters how I read it. And then, so everything else here is going to be Jane Austen July. So Jane Austen July is hosted by Katie at Books and Things and Marissa at Blatantly Bookish. And I did join in last year as well. This is the second year I believe they're doing it. So there's a few challenges. So I just thought I'd, you know, talk about them, and then I'll go through the books that I have for them. So like the first one is to read one of Jane Austen's novels. I have actually last year I finally completed all 6 novels. I had not, Northanger Abbey was the one that I had left after I read them all in college, before college and after, you know, during college, all of them except for Northanger Abbey. I'd only attempted it once and never got into it, and so I finished it last year. So I've read all the novels, but I think they're doing they're doing 2 read-alongs with, the first half of the month is Sense and Sensibility from the 1st to the 14th of July, and then they're going to do Northanger Abbey the 15th to the 31st, or the 28th, I guess. So anyway, but I've already read Northanger Abbey last year, so I don't want to reread it again. But Sense and Sensibility, I did get it on audio. It was on sale one day. So I haven't actually read this probably since college. This is actually, it's not one of my favorites. I would say it's number 3. But, I mean, that's still pretty far up there, but it's just not the one I have not reread many of them. So, but I might listen to this on audio since, I can. So anyway, so and again, I don't think I need to explain. It's Jane Austen. Anyway, so, but I might also reread Persuasion. This is my second favorite because Pride and Prejudice is number 1. But I read Pride and Prejudice just in, was it March that Steve Donahue made everybody read it? So I reread it then. And so I figured I'd read my second favorite. So I read my second and third maybe. So, but Persuasion, I love this story. So about, you know, Anne Elliot and her running into her past boyfriend, whatever, love interest, and then how things have changed over the years, and I just love this book. Anyway, and so yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading that. Number 2 is to read something from Jane Austen that is not one of her main 6 novels. So I read a lot of her Juvenalia last year to complete that. I read a book that I'd been on my shelf since college, so that was great. I do have this book of Lady Susan, the Watsons, and Sedition. I think that's the way it goes. So I might choose one of these or all 3 of them. I don't know. Probably not all 3 of them. But I've never read Lady Susan. And I never read the Watsons, and I never read Sedition. So I might read, and I know they're coming out with a new edition, a new adaptation of Sedition. And then I know Lady Susan came out last year. Was that the one called Love and Friendship or something? I know there was an adaptation of this last year. I think it was last year. Anyway, so I do have some options. So I might read one of these. I don't think I'm going to finish this book, but I mean, it's not very long. It just matters how I feel. Anyway, but I'm going to read one of those because that's pretty much, actually, that's kind of like the end of my Jane Austen reads forever. So we'll see. And I haven't read those ones. So I've read, as I said, I've read all the other stuff of her fiction. Number 3 is to read a nonfiction work about Jane Austen or about her time. So this one I'm kind of not sure. I'm gonna attempt this again. I did try this last year and I just ran out of time. So I don't know. I might get this as an audio later. But I got Jane Austen at Home by Lucy Worsley. And as I said, I started it, but I just ran out of time last year. And I don't know if it's just a little more dense than I wanted to read with my eyes. So I might get this on audio because it's a biography of her. So I still want to read this. I hear this is a good one. So we'll see. Anyway, I don't know. That's my pick. I don't know if I'll read it. Again, it's a library book, so if I get the audio, I'll have to buy that, but because they don't have it at the library. At least not that I saw. No, I'm pretty sure I checked that out and didn't have it. And then number 4 is a retelling of a Jane Austen book. So I have 2. Now I don't expect to read both of these because we know how I read, but I have 2 options. So one, of course, is Longbourn by Jo Baker. I've had this for a couple years now, and it's one I've heard about a lot, and it's like the retelling of Pride and Prejudice from the servant's point of view. So it's a little different. So I'm not sure if I'm going to get along with this because I have a lot of trouble with some retellings. So we'll have to see. That's why this is kind of a maybe. And then the other one is Death Comes to Pemberley by P.D. James. This, I was informed, is after Pride and Prejudice, which is funny that both these are Pride and Prejudice ones. So that's just how, that's the only 2 I have on my shelf. This has to do with, I think it's a little bit, 6 years after Pride and Prejudice. And then I think the Darcy's sister, Georgiana, is now out, and I think things are happening, and then somebody dies at Pemberley. I'm not quite sure. I didn't look too much into it. I just know it's kind of like that. Anyway, in P.D. James, I've read 6 or 7 of the Adam... Oh, no, what is that his name? Dalgleish? Like, something like that. I don't remember what that mystery series is. I still have A Taste for Death on my shelf. That's the last one. That's the one I didn't get through. So I need to get back to that too, but another series. But again, as I said, I liked her writing in those. So I don't know how I'm going to feel about this. I think I saw mixed reviews on this, but I still found it at a library book sale too. So those are my 2. One of those I'll probably pick up. I'm not sure which one. Number 5 is to read a book by a contemporary of Jane Austen. So I have 2 options. Again, both books I picked up last year, I think, that I was going to try to read, and I didn't. Well, no, one I picked up last year, one I pre-ordered last year and didn't get to later. So the one I found was Evelina by Frances Burney. I think this is about a country woman who goes to London, I think, during the season or something, and has kind of hijinks of stuff. But I guess it's supposed to be the fashions of late 18th century London. So anyway, so I've heard it's all in a epistolary. It's an epistolary novel, so it has all letters. So I hear it's pretty, it's kind of unrealistic on how the letters are. But again, so that's one. Or I'll pick up Marriage by Susan Ferreira. This one is a Scottish kind of, I guess it's supposed to be kind of a Scottish, was it Pride and Prejudice? I don't know. It was like one of those. It's supposed to be like kind of, I don't know. It has to do with, I think, no, it's a sister. Oh, it's 2 sisters. And then, I think just things go, they have different lives. I don't know. I thought it was sisters, but now I'm not. I don't know. Maybe, yeah. But it's talking about the mother and the daughters, I think. From the mother was wild, and then I think then her daughters are. I'm not quite sure. I actually don't remember. This is a book that I saw on somebody's channel last year, and I could have bought it from Book Depository, but I go, oh, well, I'll just it was going to be released around Christmas time, I think. And it got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back. I don't think I got this until the end of April. So, I mean, I've had this, like, I think I was pre-ordered like 8 or 9 months. So, so again, I do want to read it. It's just really, really long. It's like 520 pages. We'll see. Anyway, so I don't know if I'll read that or those. But I have two options on the two that are, you know, the retelling and a contemporary of Jane Austen. So I have some options. That's kind of where I'm going with this. And then number 6 is to watch a direct screen adaptation of a Jane Austen. My goal is to rewatch Persuasion. I haven't watched that movie in a couple of years. I don't know why. I just haven't been watching many movies. So, but I haven't watched it in a while. So I do want to watch that again. I just love that. That's the one with the Ciarán Hinds. Is that how you say his name? Whatever. Anyway, isn't it? And then number 7 is to watch a modern screen adaptation of a Jane Austen book. Now, I don't have any plans for this. I don't watch really movies right now, so it's going to be kind of hard for me. I don't actually know of any modern adaptations that I want to watch. So I don't know. I don't know. That I might skip that one. So anyway, so we'll see. I think that's it. I think that's all the books I plan. Well, I don't think I'm going to read them all, guys. But these are what I think I'm going to read. Partly, some of these. And then I'll probably intersect a lot of romance stuff from the romance book bingo that I'm doing just to kind of offset. But I think it might be a little bit too many classics for me in one time period. But I'm still going to give it a shot. And I still try to plan my reading and it's still going to fail. But I'm going to go with that this month. And then I have not given up on doing my categories TBR draw. I just needed a couple months off from it because clearly it wasn't working. So we're going to try again that hopefully in August. But we'll see, because I'm kind of planning my August out a little too much too. So we'll see what happens. So what are you guys reading in July? Are you taking part in either the read-along for the Hunchback and Notre-Dame, or are you taking place or doing stuff for Jane Austen July? Let me know. I really wanted to do the Lonesome Dove and the Dune read-along, and I've read all of Dune, but I would have liked to reread all those books. And then Lonesome Dove I've never attempted, but I have the book. I'd really like to read that, but I don't think it's going to happen this month. So, and I think there was one other read-along I saw on somebody else's channel, and I'm like, oh, I just can't do it all. I just can't. So anyway, let me know what you guys are reading. If you're going to read any of these, let me know. Or if you've read them, if they're really good. I mean, the Jane Austen we all know is good, so don't worry about that. So anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.